lighter than expected. The general said, "A decision should be reached in about 2 weeks if our present good luck continues." We affected considerable tactical surprise. Evidently, the enemy had expected that our attack would be based from Pantelleria and had prepared for an assault against northwestern Sicily. July 14th. 5 days have gone, and still no arrangements for my transfer to Sicily. The swimming at Carthage is wonderful, but, under the circumstances, every pastime is sheer waste. I want to get going. This afternoon I went to the summer palace of the Bey of Tunis, now an American Army billet, to see Colonel Elliott Roosevelt and try to arrange at least a look at Sicily. The photographic reconnaissance group under his command had made 24 flights over Sicily yesterday alone. He had flown with the most recent night photo reconnaissance himself in an A-20 and would go over again tonight. I asked him if I could go along, and he consented. "It's a wonderful sight," he said. "You can see explosions everywhere on the island. You can even pick out the bomb flashes when the bombers are making a raid. The ports are taking an awful beating. Messina looks like it had been wiped off the map, and Palermo is the same way." I asked the colonel how soon he thought the fight for Sicily would be over. "I'm not a military expert," he said, "but my impression is that it will be over quickly, maybe inside of 2 weeks. The pressure is on day and night, and the aerial bombardment is terrific. Come along and see for yourself." July 15th. I was at La Marsa Airdrome at 1:30 a.m. Outside the operations tent, Colonel Roosevelt said, "Are you all ready?" and pointed toward the B-25. It was the same type of two-engined, double-tailed medium bomber which the Doolittle flyers had taken on the historic attack on Tokyo. Mechanics were working in the half-light, hoisting parachutes and other equipment into the trapdoor opening in the belly of the ship. I put on my Mae West, struggled through the bottom hatch, and tried on my parachute. The colonel took the co-pilot seat next to Captain George Humbrecht of St. Louis. From the small compartment directly behind the pilot's and co-pilot's chairs, I could look over their shoulders and through the wide strip of windshield. It was 2:07 a.m. when we took off. We could see the wrinkled mountain mass of North Africa in the growing moonlight. Cape Bon, a rocky point reaching out toward Sicily, where the Germans had staged their final evacuation in North Africa, lay to our right. The Mediterranean seemed ghostly still, like a sea of fog in the moonlight. Colonel Roosevelt's duck-billed cap bobbed as he looked over the water, and the crossed straps of his parachute harness seemed white and distinct. An orange beacon winked on our port beam from the misty plain of the Mediterranean. Through the Astrodome, where the navigator takes his sights, I could see stars strewn over the moonlit sky, and Cassiopeia, the queen on her chair, pointed toward the North Star. We were heading northeast. I crawled through the narrow tunnel to the bombardier's compartment in the nose, the greenhouse, where he operates his machine gun and bomb sight. It was noticeably cold in the compartment, for we were climbing to the zone of lower temperature. The bombardier, Lieutenant Everett Anthony of Hartford, Connecticut, was concerned about a light from the toggle switchboard, which seemed to be out of commission. The moonlight was brighter and the sheen of the sea more lustrous. Only the top of the propeller arc shimmered above the shadow cast by the wing. The colonel was rubbing his hands in an attempt to keep warm. He looked back over his shoulder and smiled. We were approaching Sicily. The strip of beach, green in the moonlight, like a scar between the sea and the mountains, was now behind us. The ridges of the high mountains, white icing in the moonlight, encrusted the dark background of the landmass. Suddenly I saw embers of fire, another fire beyond the first. From the detached distance of the air, they appeared mere bonfires. The closer fire, on the right, proved to be a disorderly group of large blazes, like strewn coals against the land. The farther fire, beyond and to the left, magnified by the binoculars, was revealed as a huge U-shaped double row of houses burning brilliantly. In this one group there must have been 30 to 40 large conflagrations, and the even spacing and arrangement indicated they were the buildings of an ammunition dump or a factory. "They're firing at us over there, on the right," said the colonel. White flashes of gunfire pricked the darkness of the ground. A searchlight beam, leaning against the sky, snapped on, then off. Another beam of light swept the sky ahead of us. The colonel and the pilot were shouting at each other. The canvas back of the colonel's